The broadcast is now starting. All attendees are in listen-only mode.
Hello, everyone. Wow, this is an exciting day for me. This is Jackie Birchman, Director with Market America, and it's a huge privilege of mine to get to share with you a product that is like sweeping the United States and changing lives. It is a product that has so many health benefits. It's like totally amazing to all of us. So a little bit about myself. Jeff and I have been partnered with Market America since 1998. We partnered because I was very ill at the time. I had literally drank some toxic water that was spring water that I drank my whole life that had made me very ill. OPC and aloe like totally changed my life. And from there, we really got a hold of what these products could do to change people's lives. And I probably have never been so excited since 1998 as I am today to share with you a product called Trim Tea that is going to change a lot of lives. So I'm a wife, just my husband. We have 2 sons, Jim and Mike, and we have 5 grandchildren. And so we really love the family life. And this Trim Tea is going to change a lot of families also. So that's a little bit about myself. And so this afternoon, I'm going to share with you guys this amazing product called Trim Tea, which you can see is a weight management and metabolic balancer. So Trim Tea only has 2 ingredients, and those 2 ingredients are black tea extract and African mango seed. And so when you look at, that's the tea leaf, and this is African mango seed. And so you can see the African mangoes hanging on the trees, just full of this fruit that has so many powerful health benefits to it. The great thing about Trim Tea is you can drink it hot or cold. It doesn't matter. If you like it stronger, don't add so much water. If you like it not as strong, add more water. And so I hear all the time, so what does the Trim Tea taste like? Well, I love it hot, and it really just like warms you up. It is very smooth. It really doesn't hardly have any taste at all. I usually drink mine at 11 o'clock. You drink it about a half an hour to an hour before your largest meal. So that's what I love it. I love it hot. Winter's coming. Now, some of you may love it cold, and it doesn't matter because the results are the same. So black tea extract, which is Camellia sinensis, is the world's most popular beverage. So think of all the people you know that in today's world, they're drinking tea. Half of all Americans drink tea every day. Half of us. And 80% of all tea that is consumed is black tea. 87% of the millennials drink tea. 87%. So wow, we already know that people love black tea. And black tea has so many health advantages to it. Number one, it's, of course, we already talked about its popularity and its regulatory acceptance. We don't have to worry about any side effects, anything. It's a refreshing beverage that can be served hot or cold, can be adjusted to suit the individual's taste. It's very well recognized with health benefits that are supported by science. Has a good safety record, and black tea is also full of healthy substances called polyphenols. And polyphenols are antioxidants that can help protect your cells from DNA damage. So sometimes people are like, well, what's an antioxidant do? And I always say, that rusting on your car, that's from oxidation. So an antioxidant stops oxidation. Or another great way to think of it is, once you cut that apple in half and it's white in the beginning, it begins to brown. That's oxidation. So if we don't stop oxidation in our bodies, we're going down the road to some things that we probably don't want with health challenges. So taking antioxidants are very, very, very beneficial to our health. And Trim Tea is processed in Germany in a state-of-the-art extraction facilities. It has no major allergens. The black tea extract has no major allergens. It's gluten-free, and it's non-GMO. So, wow, we have the best manufacturer that's making our black tea extract. There's no major allergens. And when we talk about the extract, I want you to think the extract from black tea is way more powerful, and it also is easier for the body to absorb. So it's like I tell people, it's like black tea sort of on steroids because it's the extract, which is, again, way more powerful. So now that's the first ingredient that is in trim tea. And the second ingredient is African mango. And I have to tell you, one of my friends just got back from Africa. She travels a lot. And when she saw trim tea on my Facebook page and she saw that there was African mango in it, she was like, I don't need to hear anymore, because in Africa, that is the healthiest thing that everybody eats. So she already knew about African mango. But for some of us, it may be a newer fruit for us. And so African mango is a common food in West African cuisine. It's like the ugbono soup, and we always laugh because I'd never heard of ugbono soup, but we'll probably taste it someday. It's observed that people who included African mango in their diet had favorable metabolic parameters, and that's really what we're looking for. There was a study that used the mouse fat cells that provided evidence that the seed extract can inhibit fat cell production. Wow, that's a big deal here. When we look at the amount of obesity in the United States, if we could help fat production, the fat cell production, we're going to make a big difference in a lot of people's lives. So the human study then confirmed and expanded upon the health benefits of African mango seed. So once they began studying it, they even found more benefits in the human body from the African mango seed. And one of them is this African mango seed inhibits adipogenesis. So what is adipogenesis? That is really the beginning of a new fat cell. So if we can stop these new fat cells from developing, I want you to think of the difference that's going to make in everybody's health. Because as we age, I don't know about you guys, but I know for me, it seems like those fat cells develop easier and easier. So that is a major help to everyone when they're trying to lose weight. And this is a patented product. WellTrim, you'll see the little R is patented, and the form is IGOB 131. So it is, again, the African mango extract. So it's not just the fruit, just like black tea. It's not black tea, but it's the extract. And so is this the extract. This is the only certified authentic, and you'll see GRAS, which means generally regarded as safe, affirmed standardized extract of the African mango. And it's also known as Ervinga gaboensis seed, and that's just the scientific name. But so we have the best patented African mango extract that there is. It holds patented health claims, and it's clinically tested in double-blind, placebo-controlled studies. And that is a really big deal when you're looking at nutrients and you're looking at the effects and are they real or not. When you can have a double-blind, placebo-controlled study, now you know that it holds validity to it. But what they found is it targets multiple metabolic pathways that are involved in weight management. And so one of the things that it affects is leptin. And leptin is a key hormone that affects our weight. So leptin, I want you to think of leptin as it creates satiety for you, or again, stops you from being hungry all the time. So leptin is produced by fat cells. But this leptin crosses the blood-brain barrier, and it binds to the receptors in the hypothalamus region of the brain. And leptin tells us to stop eating. But overweight and obese people have increased levels of inflammation. And this inflammation is called C-reactive protein. And that inflammation, guys, is everywhere in the body. It's a big marker for heart disease. And C-reactive protein, this inflammation, binds to your leptin and prevents it from crossing the blood-brain barrier. Therefore, the signal to stop eating is blocked. What does that mean? It means you are hungry all the time. So this is a great little example of what happens. So when we have too much C-reactive protein, or remember that's inflammation, it inhibits our leptin. And so if you look at this little diagram, because it inhibits the leptin, the brain says, I'm hungry, and we're going to go eat another hamburger. And your waist measurement keeps going up. And again, because we have so much C-reactive protein, it blocks our leptin, and the brain continues to say, I'm hungry, and we got to get another snack, we got to get another snack, and our waist measurement continues to go up. And so what happens is when you take the Welltrim, it reduces the C-reactive protein, which now enhances the leptin function. So now when we take Trim Tea, now we've reduced the C-reactive protein. Now the brain receives the leptin, and leptin says, I'm full. The brain says, I'm full. I don't need a hamburger. I don't need any more chips. I don't need any more junk. And my waistline continues to go down. And again, you just keep going in that cycle. So now, as your C-reactive protein continues to drop, the brain becomes more leptin sensitive, and the brain releases, again, leptin that tells the rest of the body, I'm full, I don't need any more. And in fact, once you get on Welltrim, that is one of the first things that you see is you're like, wow, I am not hungry, I am full, I can only eat half as much as I used to. So that is one of the first signs that most people see once they've started drinking the Welltrim. So when we look at, again, the clinical trials that resulted, again, when we talked about reducing C-reactive protein, we don't talk about reducing it a little bit. It was reduced by 51.7%. That is a huge amount. So again, even when you're thinking of pain anywhere in your body, that is C-reactive protein. And when you drop that, that has huge health benefits all over the body. But again, of course, now you become leptin sensitive. And now adiponectin, which is another hormone that's made by fat cells. And studies demonstrated show low levels of adiponectin being a risk factor for cardiovascular and obesity complaints. But this inhibition of adiponectin may be a means by which obesity may result in blood sugar concerns or cardiovascular decline. So the biggest risk is in the deposition of visceral adiposity, which of course is your waist measurement. Remember this, your wellness can be determined by your waist measurement. So when we can drop the fat around our waist, that begins to bring wellness to that entire body. So efforts to raise adiponectin signaling from the fat cells is considered protective in obesity and risk factors that are associated with excess fatness. So again, raising the adiponectin levels is a huge benefit. So it plays a role in controlling blood sugar levels. Adiponectin levels are lower in obese people than in lean people. And blood sugar levels normally improve as our adiponectin levels rise. Wow, how many people do we know that have blood sugar issues, that are type 2 diabetes, that are, again, just have high blood glucose levels? So when we raise this adiponectin, it begins to change the blood sugar levels. In fact, Welltrim, remember that's the patented African mango, increases adiponectin levels not by a little, but by 159%. And so that's over the baseline versus the placebo. 159% is a huge percentage. And so what else happens is the blood glucose levels now decreased by 22.5% in our controlled group, which again is like amazing. So think of all the benefits that we've already learned here. And so this is literally the study below that you see here in the Lipids in Health and Disease, and that is all about raising this adiponectin levels. So another thing that Welltrim does, it inhibits this G3-PDH, which is an enzyme that's involved in converting blood sugar to fat. So this is a major offender in the battle against fat. And less is better here. We want to stop the conversion of blood sugar into fat. So get this one now. Welltrim helps inhibit this enzyme by 71.6% compared to the control group. And because of that now, we reduce the fat production by 80.9%. Wow, that's a big difference. 80.9% reduction in fat production. So a huge difference. So this is a chart of the double-blind study that was done. And you can see the Welltrim group and you can see the placebo group. You also notice that in this study, the participants weighed a little over 200 pounds. It was a 10-week study. Also, the average amount of food that they ate was 2,700 calories, which is quite a bit. So when you look at what happened in 10 weeks to these people that weighed a little over 215 pounds, they lost 28 pounds in 10 weeks, and they lost 6.3% body fat in 10 weeks. So I want you to think that, wow, that body fat really also determines your waist measurement. So they probably lost a good 4 to 5 inches in their waist, if not 6 inches. So this is a huge study that, again, brings credibility. It's not we think that this is what the product does. It's we know this is what the product does. Compared to when you look at the placebo group, 50 participants, and they only lost 1.5 pounds, and they lost 1.9% body fat. That's a huge difference. So there's more. This product, like, it never ends with all of its health benefits. So Welltrim helps support cardiovascular health. And the clinical trial resulted in 26.3% reduction in total cholesterol. Wow, that's like a huge amount. And 27.2% reduction in LDL. So again, that's the loser cholesterols that we do want to reduce. So it made a huge difference in their cholesterol. So to just sort of recap what one little product does with all of its health benefits, you can see it reduced the C-reactive protein by 51.7%. The reduction in blood glucose was 22.5%. And the biggie is 80.9% reduction in fat production, 26.3% reduction in total cholesterol, and 27.2% reduction in LDL. Those are percentages that we typically never hear. They're that high. So how do we take it? Well, you'll get a box, and it's a month's supply, but we get 3 boxes. There's a little sleeve in there. You cut the end of the sleeve off. You pour it either in your cup of hot water or you pour it in your glass of cold water. And again, it's most effective. It's taken about 30 to 60 minutes before a meal, but not really required. It's just like get it in every day. And again, I take mine at 11 o'clock and I wait for 11 o'clock. I absolutely love my Trim Tea. So this is, of course, what the packaging looks like, and this is the label. And what is really cool about this label is you can see the black tea extract that we talked about, and all the health benefits that black tea has is totally amazing. But the Welltrim, something for you to know, is in the study, they used 150 milligrams. In our Trim Tea, we have 300 milligrams. We have double what the study says. So we are really excited as to what this product is really going to do for all of us. And what do we really love about it? It's totally affordable. So when you purchase your Trim Tea, you'll get a 90-day supply, which is 3 boxes. And what do I love about it? It's $1.33 a day. What do I really love about it? It's $1.33 a day. Guys, you know what? People spend more than that on their water, or they definitely spend more than that on a can of pop or some chips or something bad. And so I love the price because it's something that you can be on the rest of your life, because none of us want our C-reactive protein, our cholesterol levels, or our body to begin to again produce fat cells. So that really is the end of all the information about our Trim Tea, all the incredible health benefits that comes in one little sleeve that you only drink 1 cup a day. Pretty amazing. But now I'm going to go into another really favorite part for me, which is sharing how you can really change lives financially. I was a school teacher, and as a school teacher, I can't tell you how many kids go home on the weekend and probably their parents didn't have enough money to buy good food. Their parents didn't have enough money to buy good shoes or clothing. So this is one of my missions in life, is to be able to help change families' lives financially. Because when we change a family's life financially, I know that I'm changing children's lives, and that's still a huge passion of mine. So we're going to talk a little bit about now how to grow an incredible business with one product called Trim Tea. And what we really think about is how do we pay it forward and to be able to build a business with Trim Tea. Because in life, it's all about how do we pay it forward. So just a reminder that when we get started, it was a 10 to 12 week, it was a 10-week study. And so that you will be selling your customers 3 boxes of Trim Tea at a time. So how am I growing this business with Trim Tea? I'm really using what's called the referral method. So it's as easy as this. So who do you know that wants to lose weight? If you refer 3 customers to me, your next purchase is at cost. So what do I really do? So I've had many customers come to my house to pick up the Trim Tea. And all I say to them is, you know, as you start losing weight, you're going to start talking, right? And if you refer 3 customers to me, your next purchase is at cost. And so if you look at here, cost is like with the 3 boxes, it's $85.50 versus $119. That's almost a $30 saving. So they refer 3 customers to me. They get their next 3 boxes at cost. And I tell them, you know what, you refer 3 more people to me, and you're going to get your next 3 boxes at cost. And guess what? They refer 3 more people because they begin to have all these incredible health benefits. They're losing weight, they're losing fat, they're losing inches, all of that. So the second time they refer customers to me, I say to them, you know what? We need to sit down so I can show you how to order your own Trim Tea at cost and a bigger picture of what this company offers. Guess what, guys? That is a home run. Why? Because that customer, when they start their business, their Trim Tea business, they already have 6 customers. All those customers that they referred to me become theirs. So I'm going to walk you through now the steps as we open our business. And you may not understand all this, but if you don't, whoever invited you on the call, please get back to them, because building a business with Trim Tea is almost like too easy now. So when you partner with Market America, shop.com, your first step is to apply. And so when you open your business, there's a subscription fee of $129.95. And the good news is, when you help 5 friends with the Trim Tea, and that's 5 friends that each buy 3 boxes, that's a total of 15 boxes. The markup from those 15 boxes will pay for your subscription fee. Another home run. So now we've got your subscription fee paid for. Now the next step is to create what we call business volume. And when we partner, we need to create 300 business volume to open our business. And so this is another like, oh my gosh, so cool. So each box of trim tea is 20 BV. So when you sell 3 boxes to each person, that's a total of 60 BV. And when you multiply that 60 BV by your 5 customers, that's 300 BV. That's a magic number. If you remember, we need 300 BV when we begin to partner with Market America. So now you've got basically, it's called the order that you need with your trim tea. The next step really is you're selling your trim tea to your customers that generated 300 BV. And what you're going to do is we're going to place that order and your business will be open or it will be qualified. And the next step is when the fun begins, is when leverage begins to take place, is when a residual income begins to take place. And you know what? 20 years ago, those were all new terms to me. Today, I wouldn't do anything that doesn't have leverage and that doesn't create a residual income. So when we think back, and the word activate means you're going to find 2 business partners. How easy is that? Well, if you remember when you started on your trim tea, I said to you, if you refer 3 people to me, your next set is at cost, and you refer 3 more people to me, we're going to sit down and show you how to get all your trim tea at cost. That's what you're going to do with all of your customers. And so now you will have a business partner on your left and a business partner on your right. And when you again move 5 sets of trim tea a week, that again creates 300 BV per business development center. That's 900 BV. And I know if you're a guest on here, you're like, what's the big deal? That's a lot of BV. I'll show you in the next slide. How much is it? Well, I want you guys to think it's you, and you had your partner on your left, and you had your partner on your right. And again, they did the same thing with their customers, and they got a partner on their left and on their right. And guess what, guys? That's 1,050 BV a week from the left and your right side. You have 2 banks, one on the left, one on the right. That is almost, guys, a $300 check a week. I want you to think, what would your life be like if you created an extra $300 a week? Or it's like an extra $1,500 a month. That's what we're talking about, changing family lives. So step number 5 when you partner is really to teach, manage, and help. So what are we going to teach you? We're going to teach you the $1 million script. We're going to teach you how to be the best customer manager. And we're going to teach you that the fortune is in the follow-up. So if you look at these 2 ladies in the picture there, those are both customers that came to my house and asked about trim tea. But what I want you to look at is how I have it packaged, and that I have informational flyers. I have a brochure in there, all for them when they pick up their trim tea. They don't pick up 3 boxes of trim tea. They pick up a gift. It is their gift for 2018. It is their wellness gift. So here's my $1 million script. I love it. I use it all the time. So what do I say? What is the $1 million script? If I were to meet you, I would say, you know what? My goal on a daily basis is to bless and survey people just like you. Would you be willing to answer a couple questions today? And they generally say, sure, yeah, whatever. So I say, you know what? If there was a tea that you could drink only 1 cup a day that had so many health benefits, like dropping your C-reactive protein, dropping your cholesterol, and most importantly, dropping fat production by 80%, resulting in losing around 28 pounds in 10 weeks. And guess what? It only costs $1.33 a day. Is there any reason that, or anything that would prevent you from getting started today? And they're like, no. Or they're like, well, get me more information. And that's where I have my brochure right in my purse. Because when you can pull a brochure out, guys, it legitimizes what you say. They can see the percentages. they can see the double-blind study that we talked about right there. So that is the brochure that I keep in my purse. And this is my follow-up system. Yes, I've gone back to the old recipe box. I don't want to miss anybody. So as soon as I get a new name, I come home, I put it on an index card, and you will see that the numbers on those dividers all relate to what the day of the month is. So I know exactly who I need to follow up with. I don't have anybody falling through the cracks. The other thing is you will see that there is actually a button there, and we're having them made. And it says melt fat now, ask me how. And I will tell you that button is hysterical, because the other day I was out and this lady looks at me in the eye and I'm like, okay. And she goes, well, how? And I'm like, oh, she's talking about my button. And so everybody tries to read the button. It is amazing how many people you'll get to come up to you and say, well, how? So one of the best things that we do, and one of the things that's so much fun, is tea parties, guys. This is like so much fun. This is inviting 4 to 5 people over, and it's your easiest way to build a large customer base. And so you'll notice that I typically would have the table decorated way more, and we're going to have TLS-friendly food on there, meaning fruits and veggies, any of the healthy snacks, finger foods, all of that. Also, I have wine goblets that have the Christmas stuff on it, so they can drink it hot or cold. And so when we have the tea party, all we're going to go over is that brochure, because on the inside of that brochure, it tells everything. So again, when you have a tea party, that's one night a week, and you have the cups for the hot and cold tea. You're going to serve TLS-friendly food, veggies, fruit, healthy snacks. I also use the Rapid Results food list. I tell people, you know what, you'll get better results if you don't eat your donut while you drink your trim tea. So just beginning to think a little bit smarter. And of course, then I use the trim tea brochure. And when you host these trim tea parties, any distributor that is coming needs to bring some TLS-friendly food to share, and they also need to bring the recipe to share with all of the guests. And if you're coming to somebody else's party, you need to bring your own trim tea for yourself and for your guests, because we all don't want to give up our trim tea. It's so hard to get. So all of these materials that I just talked about are all available on GoNowResource.com. You'll go under the Basic 5 tab. You'll go under Retailing, and then you'll go under Marketing. And under Marketing, you will scroll down. You'll see the bags, the gift bags that we gave out, that Phil Guido started. All of that marketing material is there. But below that is all of the trim tea materials. There's a video from Bonnie Church that's there to listen to, and very easy to access. So this is the informational flyer that we talk about, and we say it's our informational flyer because it has a lot of information and small print, and you can see where you can put your own contact information in there. This is the marketing flyer. Why is it a marketing flyer? It's a marketing flyer because each image is large and people can see it and read it and just catch the wow in a real quick way, like it's $1.33 a day. Of course, this is the brochure that I use. I keep in my purse. We're going to use at tea parties. This is also the brochure that I'm going to go to salons, massage therapists, see if I can leave that brochure there, see if I can leave empty boxes of trim tea there to get more additional referrals. And that's the inside of the brochure again. Very easy to read, and you see even the 80.9% is highlighted because that's a big deal. So trim tea, it's a wow product, guys. So what I want you to get to thinking about is how many boxes are you ordering a week? Get in the habit of ordering your trim tea weekly. And we say make it hurt. Why? Because you want to be out there selling it. And the other reason that you want to have trim tea, like a lot of it, is there's this month coming called January. And January is when everybody sets their goals, to lose weight. And so we have a huge product that is going to really, really change a lot of people's lives. It's going to change the weight loss industry. And so I just want to wish everyone a Merry Christmas. And, just get out and share the Trim Tea. This is the Christmas tree with Trim Tea for guests, for all of your for all of your people that you need to get Christmas presents for. Share the Trim Tea with them. And so now, guys, I just want to thank you for listening to this webinar, for taking time out, for learning the power of Trim Tea. And I especially want to thank you then for paying it forward, going out and changing people's lives, either health-wise or financially. Again, thank you and Merry Christmas.